Hi, everybody. Welcome to Monkey Island Madness. This is our live show taped over at Ustream TV. Come on over and join us. I am talking to live people in a chat, so that's why I'm yakking a lot. And this is the second one for today, so I've already got a big fat mess, and I'm going to try and get it out of my way. Sorry about the noise. But I thought today what I would do is a show on lettering. I've gotten a lot of requests about lettering, and I love lettering. And what really got me thinking about this, doing a show like this, Ange, was the other night when I told you to use your own handwriting in your journal, because I love when people use their own handwriting. And I think universally people will say, oh, I hate my handwriting. Well, you know what? Don't hate your handwriting. It is what it is right now. If you want it better, work on it. I mean, that's pretty much it. Ange, I don't even know why you say I hate my handwriting, because you have gorgeous handwriting. So it's something that you can work on and something you can improve. And when I'm just jotting notes, you guys, I mean, my handwriting is horrible. Like, that's my handwriting to remind myself to bring the coffee pot over to Mary's. It's not pretty, but when I want it to look pretty, I can be mindful and get it pretty. I did take the coffee pot, by the way. So yeah, I mean, I think all of us, our handwriting isn't beautiful every day, but I think we can be mindful and make it better. So I had gotten out some books, and I have started a journal here where I'm just going to collect up and practice my own handwriting, okay? So I just did a Zentangle cover, and I don't know if I sprayed the background and then Zentangled in white on top of it. And I'm just going to use a composition notebook. So if I see a pretty font or something that I want to keep, I'm going to put it in here. There's just when I was thinking around. Cupcakes fix everything. So yeah, I mean, just if you're interested in doing something like this, just get a 50-cent composition book. It doesn't have to be special. I like lined paper for lettering. But if I don't have lined paper, I will create my own. So, and I've shown you guys a lot of the lettering books that I have. But one thing is, and I pulled this out just to show you guys, a lot of us keep planners or journals that we write in or art in or whatever. I think you can do it a little, lettering a little bit or a lot. And this is a cute little book. I don't even know. I saw it at one of the streams by Linda Berry. And if you flip through this book, you kind of see that if you use lettering and just drawing, you can have the coolest journal ever. I mean, these are not fine art, boys and girls, but they're good. Like, they're really good. All the different kind of lettering that you can do. So I'm just going to do some of it today. She wrote in cursive. She writes in block lettering. I tend to write more often than not in block lettering. And then she'll draw a little cartoon. But the thing is, it's just so darn creative, you know, and here's lettering up here with a border. None of that is hard, you guys. You can do that. It's just being mindful about what you're doing. And I love her monkey guy. I mean, I'm a huge fan of this boy right here. So this is a cool little book. Fun to read. She's actually an art teacher, and that's what a lot of this is about. Reverse lettering. You could do that easy. So anyway, yeah. This kind of book totally inspires me. Because you guys have seen my beast. I'll go get my last year's beast and show you. Mine is not nearly this cool. Maybe this year it will be. I don't know. But let me show you. But just like Dee Dee says, you know, I think anything you do makes you more creative. You know, like every day I write in a journal. Every day. And I use it as an everything in one place where I give myself things that I need to do every day. And then I might use my stamps. I might just tape something in. I might do my own lettering. Let's see, this day I got an Amazon delivery. So I have a smiley face because I love that. And then I also test products in here. I drew the plaid background. And then I taped, you know, this I cut out somewhere. So I don't know, I would say, you know, if you feel like you are not being creative, get yourself just a cheap journal and try and do different things in it. It doesn't, you know, like a lot of my pages aren't finished. But I'll fill up a page with an entire sarcasm because beating the crap out of people is illegal. So there's quotes in here. There's things that happened on that day. I try and keep it all positive. Occasionally I might write something bad that happened, but I try and put a positive spin on it. So, yeah, I would say, and this is a great way to work on your lettering. So, and none of it's hard, you guys, none of it. A woman with a big fat ass should dump him. Now that's funny, I'm sorry, but that is funny. Yeah, see, a little gray hair is a small price to pay for all this wisdom. So if I see something cute, or, yeah, this is when I went to see my dad. Oh, yep, that was Super Bowl. Super Bowl! So, yeah, and I look back through it, and it makes me happy. Makes me creative. But this is such a total personal thing. And I would just recommend it to anybody. I honestly would. So yeah, get yourself a fun journal. You'll love yourself for doing it. And another cool thing about having a journal like that is you get to use all your cool supplies. Like, yeah, let me find a place where I got a supply delivery. Like this is probably when I got my cool washi tape, so I have to put it all in there. And that was when I was in South Carolina. Those are when I got some of the Timmy stamps. I had to try them out and color them. And look at these pages aren't finished. I haven't finished them, and I may never. But I'm not going to stress about it. I know that. So anyway, I'm not really sure where to begin here as far as working with you guys on lettering. So if you have ideas about what you want, I thought, one, when I say block lettering, what I'm talking about is just what you learned in school. Just the upper and lower case, the way they taught you in school. In block lettering, not in cursive. That's the cursive alphabet that you learned in school. And I can sit and practice that over and over and over again, okay? Laura, you can do that. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you is the book itself, this journal itself is, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but I'm going to do my best. It's a Miguel Ruiz, and it's Miquelrius. And you can get this on Amazon, but it's very expensive on Amazon. I walk into Barnes & Noble and pay $10 for this. And there are pages torn out of it. I mean, it really is a beast. It's got like 300 pages in it, and it's graph paper. So, I would say anybody can do this. If you want me to someday just show you how I laid it out, but I would say, find your own layout, what works best for you. Like one time I tried to do more pages on, well, I probably screwed up is what I did. See, I got a big old delivery of junk this day. Journal stamps and stuff like that. Figure out what works best for you. Yeah, they don't teach cursive anymore, which I think is a crime, because I think it's good for kids. I think it does make you creative and makes you stretch your brain. I mean, computers are going to kill us, I swear. Yeah, I hope cursive doesn't die out either. But the nice thing about that is I can write bad things about people and they won't be able to read it. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys real quick. And I was thinking this the other night when Ange was doing her lettering. I don't remember what your quote was, Ange, but I'm just going to show you quickly. If I was going to sit down and chart out, well, I'll do it on the big piece of paper. Well, no, I got to show you first. Okay? Go ahead and give yourself some lines for spacing, whatever it is, inch, and that's going to be determined by what you're working on, okay? If you're working on a journal page, I have to do a layout. I have to give myself lines, okay? So let's just say inch apart. All my lines are going to be inch apart. They don't have to be. They could be 1 inch, 1.5 inch, one whatever, okay? And then give myself a center line. Okay, can you guys see this? Okay, this is 4 1/4, so 2 1/8 is the center. Okay, and I'm going to show you real quick how you can center your type or quote or whatever you're going to write. I mean, you don't have to center it, but I'm going to show you how you can if you want to, how to do the math. It's simple, simple. I got too much junk on my table. Sorry, and I'm sorry it's dark in here. I don't know why there's no light over here. I don't know why. Okay, just draw yourself some lines, straight as you can make them. Me and my rulers, hey? Okay. So I thought I was just going to do old age is not for sissies, okay? Because I like that. Yep, critical thinking. Oh my God, is critical thinking. Thinking at all is a lost art. Are you kidding? I hear things that come out of people's mouth on TV and I'm just going, oh my God. Mankind is freaking doomed. Okay, and there's such a thing, and I wrote these notes so I could talk to you guys about, in typography, there are EN spaces and EM. And so I kind of use a loose version of that way of thinking to determine the size of a letter for centering, okay? So just think if you do an N, lowercase n, uppercase N, lowercase m, okay, an M is going to take up more space than an N. So when I'm figuring out the spacing, most letters are going to be considered an M, some are going to be an M, okay? And I'll show you how this works. Okay, for old age. Now I have to decide one, am I going to do it all in uppercase or am I going to do it combination, whatever, okay? I'm going to do it, let's see, I'm kind of feeling like I want to do it upper and lowercase so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That's what I'm thinking. All right, no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm going to do it all uppercase, okay? So I count the number of letters. There's 1, 2, 3. I count the space as a letter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? I figure out how large I'm going to want my type. Okay? And some of you, I've shown you how to cut the lettering guides. And then Sunset Carol went further and made an infinite size one. Oh, Carol, that's my version of your design. I did go ahead and cut one. Woohoo! But this is Carol's version, so you could have lettering of any size just by untaping it and moving the bottom part of it. This, Carol, honestly, you've changed my life. Changed my life, okay? So I can move that anywhere and get a letter any size I want. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And then when you find the size you want, and because it's on a cut on an angle, you know it's going to have to be the same across your opening. It's brilliant. Freaking brilliant. But for this, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. All right, so I will go ahead and in my own handwriting, I will write out, I'm going to use the 1/4 inch space very mindfully in block letters, old age. Okay. Now I can measure that. Okay. It's right at 2 inches, so my center is going to be right there at 1 inch. So on my layout, I can measure over the 1 inch, and I know that when I write old age just like that, it's going to be centered on here. And then I can, normally what I do, you guys, is I write it first in pencil, and then I go back and ink it however I want. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the is not in a smaller face. And again, I'm going to measure that. Now, this is the simplest way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and measure this and center it this way. That's 1 inch, so my center is going to be 1/2 inch. But, well, I'll just do it this way. 1/2 inch. So I know my is not is going to be right there. I'm going to do 4. And I could have put the 4 on the other line, but I'm just trying to do it different so you can see how this is the simplest way to center your type. Write it out once, measure it. This is 2, 4, or yeah, let me do 16ths. 2, 4, 6, 7, so about 3.5. 2, 3.5, right over the O. So you guys get that? That's how I can center the type. And if this was on, you know, a layout, then I could ink it in and it would be there. I wouldn't have to cut it out and paste it on there. See what I'm saying? Am I making any sense? I did this stream on the lettering guide, Trouble. It's up on YouTube. Well, you can print it out, but see, I think I like journals where people have used their own lettering. I think it's so personal to do that. Okay, and this spacing is if I'm going to use just a pen, okay? If I'm going to decorate this in any way, I would do the decorated letter. But another way I could do this is, okay, before I even decide what font I'm using, whether I'm going to decorate it or not, count the letters 1, 2, 3, spaces 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 here. Okay. How do I describe EMEN? Anyway, I would just go ahead and divide that by 2. Just count the letters and divide it by 2 and figure all of your letters are going to be about the size of a lowercase n. If it's going to be an M or something, add 1.5. Is generally how I do it. And you can do that for sewing, for embroidery, for hand lettering, for anything you want. Okay? So let me go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and then I'll decorate it and whatever. So what did I say? I said 3/16. And actually, I should be moving these lines. And then sissies. And I'm going to do sissies in the large size again. And see, sissies, generally what I do when I have an I next to the S, I add that as I put the S and the I together and count that as a EM, 2 ENs, an M, and an N. So I end up with 1.5, well, I count the N's first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Divide that by 3, and that's how I would center that. But you can do it this way easier. I'll just measure that. It's 1 3/8. So 1 3/16. Thanks, Carol. So I know Elaine's sitting there. Eileen is sitting there thinking, what is wrong with you? So at 1 3/16. Another thing I will have to say about I'm mathing, it's easy math. You could do it, Trouble. One of the things I have that I treasure is letters and things that my grandmother and my mother wrote, that I have their things in their own handwriting. And someday, I know we all want to believe that we're eternal, but the truth of the matter is we're not going to be eternal, and maybe someday our kids will be happy that they have things in our own writing, our own thoughts, our own whatever. But I treasure the things that I have, because my grandmother's handwriting, when she would write me a letter, I remember how much I loved getting those letters. And I hate to say, but letter writing is a lost art. Do kids appreciate that? That I took time to sit down and write a letter? You think my mind's going to be razor sharp when I'm 100? I don't know. God, I hope I don't live to be 100. And that is the honest to God truth. My grandmother lived to be 103. And I promise you, I do not want to live to be 103. Okay, so if I was going to do this, to do an actual layout, I've got all my centered spaces now, so I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write it out first in pencil. And this one I think I did in this size. That's 5/32 inch type. I'm going to change the space though. I'm going to move that up. Just move my little thing. Let me see. You try and keep your math and your letters separate. I get that. A couple years to go at least. I've got about, yeah, to be 100. Ugh, I don't want to live to be 100. Oh, God. I watch Mary and just think, oh, sometimes people live too darn long. Now I've changed the vertical spacing on this. 5/32 again. And that was and see, I can tell my thing is already goofed up, so I'm going to go back and fix that before I ink it. And then Sissy's was, and I should have fixed this before I started doing it, but I'm going to do this at 3/4. And after I ink this, I'm going to erase all this pencil anyway, so I can have as much marks on here as I want, as long as I know what my marks are and I don't confuse myself. But I know I've done enough of this that you want to write it out in pencil before you... I still don't like that spacing. So, see, you can alter this as you go, because I'm going to do 1/4 inch spacing. I want another 1/4. I'm going to come up to there. And it's odd that we're talking about getting old when I'm writing a quote that said old age is not for sissies. And believe me, it is not. Okay, and this spacing here is 1 1/4. And any errors I'm going to fix when I ink it. Did I do that right? Okay, so it's 1/2 and 3/16. No, I did not. I already caught myself in a big old boo-boo. Well, I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, Carol. But I'm just encouraging you to like your handwriting and use it in your journals, you guys. And there's nothing wrong with using computer type. I mean, I do it myself, but I still like handwriting, and I gotta find something. Yeah. I hate writing on a hard surface. I don't know why. So now I'm going to go ahead and double check myself. Always double check yourself, you guys. That's 1 inch. That's, nope. I'm redoing that one. Well, my measurement was right. I'm going to come in a little bit. Yeah, now I'm liking that. See how it's all very balanced now. See ya, Orla. Now they're talking about what they're ordering. Oh, I'm not reading chat. I know that. Okay, I'm just going to use my Hybrid Technica .03 pen to write this out, and I'm going to do the lettering about the way I normally do it. And honestly, all I'm doing is getting some ink on the paper. And add in a few little serifs. And they're not exact, but they're good enough. And the fun part starts in just a minute. This is the icky part, but you got to do the icky part to get to the fun part. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. It's in your own journal. I probably should have written this in my journal so it was there. If I end up liking it, I'll cut it out and stick it in there. I spelled sissies right, didn't I? Now that it's in here, that's another thing. Check your spelling before you ink. Yeah, I think I spelled sissies right. Okay. Looks pretty nasty right now. Now, if you're using a pen that smears, give it a minute or two to dry. I'm going to give this just a second to dry. Okay, now I've got it inked. One thing I don't like is I could have moved sissies up a little bit, and I was having trouble with that anyway, but it'll work, it'll work, it'll work, and I'll show you why in here in a minute. Now I can decide. I could have done that in any color ink, you guys, but generally what I do when I'm doing this type of lettering, and before I do any more, I'm going to go ahead and just come up with some design that I like. Oh, something else I was going to show you. Now if I want to go ahead and decorate this, I would do it now. Okay. They're not going to be identical, but I'm going to go ahead and design something that goes in where the lettering goes in and out where the lettering goes out. It just gives you balance. And here where I don't like the spacing, I'll distract you, okay? And you could design anything. I'm just drawing a flower because it's easy. And I'm not trying to make both sides symmetrical. I mean, somewhat, but not identical, because I don't care if they're identical or not. But I will show you how, if you want to do something identical, how you can do that as well. I don't like where that line ended up, so I'm going to move it. Okay. And you could do this for the front of a card or whatever. Now I'm going to get out whatever pens you've got. I have every pen known to man. And I think I've shown you guys these before. They're cheap as heck. They're those diamond pens that I ordered these off Wish, I think. You get 12 for no money. But for this sort of stuff, they are awesome pens. They're called Diamond something or other. Crown Diamond. But they're great pens, okay? So what color? Let's see. I'm going to do an ombre lettering for the old age is not for sissies. So I'm going to do a light blue at the top of the letter and go down about halfway. I didn't draw that line in. You guys are such a distraction. I'm joking. I'm so glad you're here and you're not even talking to me. I'm talking to my own self. But I'm just showing you this, how quick you can do a quick little layout for your journal or whatever. Just to make yourself happy. That's the whole reason I do this. Everything I do is pretty much to make me happy. If it doesn't make me happy, then I ain't gonna do it. Now I just told you how great these pens are and my pen isn't working. Yeah, it started working again. It may not like this cotton fiber paper. I'm going to lift it up and show it to you just in a minute here when I get, but I like these pens for small areas. But I'm going to show you when I get this part of it done. You have to be good at something. Yes, you do. Now I could go into green now. Let me see if this blue, I might have used up this dark blue one because I use it a lot. It's not wanting to work either. Really, these pens are awesome, you guys. I use them a lot. I like Papermates too. And I mix and match my pens. I don't care. These are a little harder to do small areas. I will say that. I actually do have a new set of those diamonds. I should have brought them in. And then I go over where they meet fairly soon after I write it, and it kind of blends them. All right, let's see. And I'm going to do in between, the flowers are going to be white and yellow and a little light blue and green. So I'm going to do the other lettering in light green. Yeah, you know what it is? These pens don't like the cotton fiber paper. Because on cheap paper, they work awesome. And I'm only using the cotton fiber paper. It's because I have it here, sitting here. That's exactly what the problem is. They're not liking the paper. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to get out my, I'm going to just use these. They don't mind this paper. Papermates are great pens, you guys. If you don't have some, I would say if you're going to lettering or start a journal, these are great. The only problem I have with these is they tend to bleed a little bit, where the diamond pens, they don't bleed at all. They won't bleed through anything. But I like ballpoint pens too. I love good ballpoint pens. This is a good set. I like these juice pens. They're awesome. Alright, so the lettering, and I'll just, this isn't lettering, but I would go ahead and decorate this up. I'll use the flare. But all these pens, I use all of them in my journal all the time. Yeah, I guess I could do them in black. What the heck? I pretty much do a lot of things in pencil first and then go back with my pen. Correct my errors, whatever. This flower was smaller than the other one, so but something like this you could make easily for a card, whatever. Takes no time at all. Believe me, I'm just doing this quick. If I was making this for a card or for somebody, I would be taking more time. Not a whole lot more time, though. But I think every time you sit down and do something like this, it helps your creativity, for sure. And then for shading, I might even get out my colored pencil, because I'd like the light blue on here to be different. I wish I could find these pens again. If anybody ever sees these, these expressions in all different colors, let me know. I will buy these. I can't find these anymore. And I loved them. I used them like crazy. So there you go. See, wouldn't you like to have that in your own journal someday? So that's how you can center and do your own. Anybody can do that, you guys, anybody. The other thing I was going to tell you, if you want something that's symmetrical, say I wanted this flower to be the exact opposite of this, cut your page in half. Let's see, how can I show you? Draw your design on this half. And tracing paper actually do that. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to do a whole show on that because that is a cool thing. If you want to have a mirror image, it's so easy to make a mirror image. So yeah, I'll do a whole separate show on that because that would take up almost the rest of the time we've got. So get yourself a journal, find yourself a fun quote, and just write it out. Take more time and make it prettier, add more colors, do different kind of lettering. Because if you start with block letters, and we're not talking calligraphy here, okay? I'm not even talking calligraphy. I'm just talking lettering for your journal, okay? Always start with a block letter. Okay, let me quickly show you another cool thing you can do with block lettering. You'd think I have a shortage of paper around here, right? Jeez. Hi, Charlie, girl. Hi, everybody who's come in since I haven't been paying any attention. But I know a lot of people like three-dimensional lettering, okay? So let's just say I'm having trouble with my .03 graph gear pencil and I'm a little hacked off about it, okay? Now you can do this either with a stencil. I mean, I have every size of stencil lettering available. You can start with that, or you can start with your own handwriting. Okay, I'll just, that may not be big enough. And you can cut yourself these lettering guides in any size you want. I'm going to go ahead and draw myself an M. Much in this style. Okay, where it's thicker, say it's bold type, okay? There's an M in bold type, okay? Now one thing I would do is I would clean it up a little bit. But that's how you can make yourself a bold M. Really easy. Really, really easy here. Okay? Now say I want this to go off toward a vanishing point. Make it three-dimensional. Draw another line. I want them to be kind of straight. Draw yourself a vanishing point line off here in the distance, okay? and give yourself a dot out here. And it's much like a vanishing point when you're drawing a building or anything like that. If you're doing vanishing point lettering, all of these points draw toward that vanishing point. Okay? However thick you want them, draw another line out there. And that's where your that's where your vanishing point is going to be. And you can do that with any letter at all. And that's a really, really simple way to do a vanishing point letter. Did that make any sense, or would you even mess with it? I would mess with it, but I'm a little twisted that way. And actually, I'm going to erase a little bit of that one. Too thick, too thick, too thick. So that's how you get block lettering, three-dimensional block lettering. Simple, simple stuff. Just use your own handwriting. You can do that. You can do shadows. Same way, only the vanishing point might be back here. So, you don't know the vanishing point? Well, trouble if you're doing a drawing, let's say a building here, and the building itself is the closest thing to you, but you want to give that some dimension. Okay, anything that's going away from you gets smaller. Okay, for example, power lines going down a road. At some point, and you've noticed how a road will disappoint. It will converge at some point and disappear. Okay, that pick yourself a point out in the distance, and every line you draw goes out to that distance. Okay, so here's your road. Okay, that's a road. Okay, here's your telephone pole. Okay, and actually it wouldn't be touching the road, it would be off the road a little bit. So draw yourself a line like that. That's what a vanishing point is. All your telephone poles going on down the road are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay? And you can do the same thing with lettering. Just give yourself a vanishing point, draw all your lines out to that vanishing point, and you'll get the correct perspective on your three-dimensional lettering. You're a lazy arse. Well, you know, I guess partly, Ange, it's not necessarily that you're a lazy ass. It's probably just something, either one, you're not interested in. But if you're interested in, I mean, you can spend forever doing lettering like this. Another thing I like to do is, I'll just write, for example, and you can do this really simple, but it makes a page really colorful and fun. And you can use your supplies more, and I think that's what we all want to do. I want to use my supplies more. All right. Just wrote my name. Hi, Carrie Ann. Okay. Now, just along, I always choose the right side of it. I don't know why. Get another color pen, darker, whatever, and just draw lines next to what you've drawn. And you can make it really, really pretty. And then I go back with the first color, and if there's a space between them, I just color it in with that. So then it's going to end up looking perfect, even though it wasn't perfect when you did it. Oops, I forgot the A. I mean, that wasn't hard, you guys. You can do that easy, easy. Can you see that? And it makes it bolder and pretty, and you get to use all your fun stuff. How could you not love that? All right, what else was I going to talk to you guys about? Now you guys made me lose my notes. Another thing you can do, you know, and you can do all this on the computer nowadays, but then you've got to cut it out and whatever. Oh, another thing I was going to show you guys was like a lot of times in my journal, if I want to emphasize something, I will I'll write on a curve. So the way I do that is I just draw the curve that I want to begin with. And then I just go ahead and I could draw another curve over it so they're, you know, they can be converging or they can be about the same size. And I could make that curve as tight as I want. And actually, Carol did another really cool thing. She made me a curved lettering guide, which I love. Yeah, using your supplies is always good. You buy this stuff and you intend to use it, and you don't. So if you want to write on a curve, just draw yourself the curve to begin with. And write on the curve. So yeah, so don't forget, writing on a curve is fun. You know, but after you start thinking about lettering, one thing my brother, Gary, he was a nutcase. Well, he still is. He's just, yeah, whatever. He loved puffy lettering. So, what's a word? Word is a word. Okay? Just write the word out lightly, and then just, he was huge into just drawing balloon lettering. And I'm sure all of you did this at some point. But then when you do that, go ahead and take it a step further. And decorate it, you know. I would go ahead, and I would have probably inked that. Or I would ink it now. But for your purposes, I'm just going to erase this. Make your corrections. See, I don't have enough space there for what I want to do, so I'm going to change that. And then after you decorate this, it's hard to appreciate that you started out with something so simple, you know? And all you're doing is lines, you guys. And if this was colorful, I should have probably done it colorful for you guys. I'm doing this quick. Now I'm confused. Eileen confused me. Because you know, you guys, hashtag it's all Eileen's fault. And then just decorate the inside. I mean, it really is just, it almost like Dee Dee tells you. Thank you, Dee Dee. I mean, I could have stopped with just the bubble lettering. But then if you go ahead and just add a little bit more detail, really, it's just something that gets your creative juices flowing. Because then I could go ahead and do this candy stripe. Color every other one red. And don't forget that when you use colors, colors can be indicative of a holiday, a feeling. Hot colors make you feel a certain way. Cool colors make you feel a certain way. So, you know, and I think every time you think of stuff like that, it just helps in your overall pursuit of your art, whether it be art journaling, lettering, writing in a journal, anything. Every bit of it just makes your brain work harder in pursuing what you want to pursue. And if you're an art journaler, you're just going, what the heck? How am I going to apply this? Well, like Ange did the other night. She wanted a quote, a specific quote, and she had to write it out on her own. But I'll bet you 6 months from now, she won't have an uncomfortable feeling about that page because it's got her lettering on it. In fact, I bet she'll like it because it does have her handwriting on it. That's all I think. But maybe I'm a nutcase. You guys, if I'm a nutcase, would you tell me? Huh? Would you? And believe me, there are entire books written on lettering. But another thing I was going to say is because so many people just have this idea that I hate my lettering, but you want it something that isn't glued on your page. If you find a sample of lettering that you like in like a magazine, for example, or a book, or off the computer even, but you want it a permanent part of your page, there is absolutely nothing wrong with tracing that lettering. And I'm sure you guys have seen this, but I'm going to show you real quick. I thought I got it out, but I don't know if I did or if I didn't. Okay, here, I'll just use this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with... Suzanne said I am a nutcase, so I'm feeling better about myself now. But I just got this. It's a lettering and calligraphy workbook, which probably I didn't ever do anything in the workbook. But this tells you, you know, how to draw lettering. Yeah, and you don't have to do that. But say you've got a font on your computer that you really like, but you want to do it, you know, not print it out and whatever. There is absolutely nothing wrong, and I'm going to use this because it's large. That's the only reason I'm choosing it. I don't care. With getting yourself a piece of parchment, this is parchment paper, tracing paper, used toilet paper, whatever. Go ahead and copy that design. Okay, I'm going to do this one quickly. Copy the letter. I actually have done this a lot because I don't want to have to recreate the letter from scratch And I probably could, either using a graph or if I sat here long enough, I could ultimately draw that letter to look as close as possible to it. But if I find a font I like and I want to recreate it, either for a card, I used to make a lot of cards. I don't make cards so much anymore. Okay, so now I've got that letter on this, okay? If I want to transfer that to my, because most people don't have carbon paper anymore. You could just draw over that with carbon paper. But if I wanted that letter in my journal, what I would do is, and I've done this with logos, different logos that I needed to do. I'll do it on the back of here. Take a graphite pencil, a soft lead graphite pencil. Color on the back of your tracing paper. And the reason you can use tracing paper, I mean, is one, so you can see what you're doing, but it's nice that you can only have to color over what you want to copy. I'm so bummed about my 3-point graphite graph gear pencil. I gotta get it figured out. I think I smushed some lead in it. I will get it figured out though, because it's my precious. Okay, so all I've done is gotten graphite all over the back. Okay. Now, turn this over, and I generally use a pen or something so I know where I've gone over it. I'll just use this. And now I've taken that A, or that letter, out of my book, and I can transfer it anywhere I want. So this can become a permanent part of a journal page or your handwritten journal or whatever. So you guys, don't ever think that tracing is cheating. It's not. If you want anything in your journal, trace it and put it in there. It's helping in your pursuit anyway. And your journal is for you anyway. I mean, it's, unless you get really famous like Dee Dee, her kids are going to wait until she's long gone, and then they're going to sell all her art, and they're going to move to Belize on all the money. Yeah, trace what you want. Now I could use that in my journal for whatever. What happened, Janet? Oh, I don't know, Dee Dee. I was adding lead, and I think one of them broke inside. So, yeah. So I don't know. I just didn't have time to take it apart before I got on. So I'll get it figured out this afternoon. And if I don't get it figured out, I promise you Amazon will be getting an order, because I love that 0.3 graphite. Try twisting it in the middle. Oh, they've got suggestions for me. Open it up and press the clip on the side. Yeah, there's a lot of things I've got to try. I just didn't have time, because it was like, oh, I got to hurry because I got to do this. So, yeah, so now I could go ahead and do this lettering in any color I want. That's another thing. You know, of course, your printer is going to print in whatever color you want. And the more you do of this, the more you're going to get sure of your ability to make the marks. And if it's not perfect, who cares? Who's going to know? They're never going to see the original next to what you've drawn, right? Now I can do whatever I want with that. I can draw designs on the inside. I can do it exactly like it came out of the book. Where's the book again? Let's see if I can. Yeah, Dee Dee, you just have no clue what your kids are going to do with your art when you're gone. I know what mine are going to do. Mine are going to pull a dumpster out in the front yard and pay somebody else to clean this crappy mess up. All right. So I can make the lines bolder. So yeah, use your tracing paper. I'm going to go ahead and bold this up. So anyway, I don't have to take up a lot of your time doing this. So what else other kind of lettering questions do you guys have? Because so often you guys have said, oh, do a show on lettering, do a show on lettering. I think I've done it so long and it comes so naturally to me how to do things. I don't even think about the questions that you guys might have. What's hard for you guys? What have you never seen? I did think about the centering, that if you haven't done that manually, that could be a problem. What else? I love lettering. I absolutely love it. I don't know what the appeal is for me, but I absolutely love it. I love the written word. I don't care if it's hand drawn. I don't care if it's in a book. I love the written word. And I think texting and phones and all that is doing kids a total disservice. I think we'd have a lot better thinkers and creativeness if kids had to sit down and draw on their peaches like I used to have to do. I mean, at the end of the school year, my peachy was drawing on top of drawing. The only thing that didn't get a drawing on it was, this book here, Teresa, it's called The Diagram Group. I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and look how, I mean, this thing is dog-eared, man. This is so dog-eared. I've had this. I've used it. I paid $14.87 at Hobby Lobby. It's Sterling Publishing Company. I imagine you should be able to find it. But yeah, this bad boy is dog-eared. I have tons of these kind of books. So it's called Lettering and Calligraphy Workbook. But yeah, I think we're doing our kids a disservice by not encouraging them to create more with their hands. Cameron Boo learned cursive before printing in pre-K. Yeah, see, and I don't even know if my grandkids could write cursive if their whole life depended on it. I don't know. I'm gonna find out. Usually when they write me, it's block lettering. So I'd like to think that they can write. They'll certainly have a lot of my writing. Just take your time and be mindful. By the time I get done decorating this, you won't even be able to tell it's an A anymore. But see, I could sit and just doodle and draw like this all day long. That's why I started that journal, is because I could just do this forever. And generally, when I'm sitting here alone, I don't have the TV on. I'm thinking, I'm writing stories in my head, I'm thinking about the next zine. Who knows? But I think it's good for your head just to think. I don't think you have to be entertained all the time. And the crap on the TV, who wants to watch that anyway? I mean, for no more time than it took me, that's cool. Well, Pat made a comment that the only reason she passed history and biology was because of my drawing and lettering. They have done studies now that note-taking in the form of pictures is far more beneficial than note-taking in words. So, if you were a creative kind of person and could jot, a quick picture, you're going to remember that better than the written word. So, and that makes sense, actually, especially if you're a creative person. So, anyway, I asked you guys a question and I totally ignored chat. How's that for a good streamer? Woohoo! So actually, they should be encouraging kids. You like to carve your initials in your desk, Eileen, that's good. I actually like wood burning too. So, only if you're a visual learner. Well, in a sense, I think if we go back to when we were tiny little kids, we are all visual learners. That's how we began learning. And the reason I even say that is because I went to my great niece's 1-year-old birthday party yesterday. And we were talking about how she is learning. And she will copy almost anything my brother does. If he makes a funny little face, she looks at him and then she tries to repeat that. We wanted her to put her fingers in the icing on the cake and put it in her mouth. I had tried to do it for her. She wouldn't do it for me. My brother came over, did it. Next thing you know, she's doing exactly. So in a sense, I think we are all visual learners. I think we unlearn things quicker than we learn them, frankly. So anyway, I mean, you could just keep doing whatever with this letter now. So, okay, now I got to think what else I was going to try, and I tried to take notes, you guys. Okay, and then I'd said something earlier. The only other thing I can think of is about reverse type. You would do reverse type the same way you did this, or whatever. Do it in your pencil first. and then just color around the backwards. So you could actually do reverse type on your art. She was just upset until she tasted my finger, Eileen, and then figured out that I truly am made of sugar. Now she loves me to death because she thinks I am nothing but a big old sugar cube with my tiara on. She had her own cake. We all had our own cakes. We had cupcakes. All right, let me see what other books I had out here. While I was looking through this, and I'm not kidding you guys, I have doodles and junk stuffed everywhere. This is a doodle that I found in one of my books. I love that echoing. I used to do that on everything. All right, here I've got another lettering book. I'll look through here. You can do all this with cursive as well, you guys. All right, and I've showed you that lettering. And you guys have seen the Tinker Toy lettering, right? You know about that. Eileen just fell off her chair. Eileen, pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. One thing I have to say that I want to get better at, and I'm going to grab the brush pens out right now. And I've seen a lot of different people doing it. But I'm going to start practicing more since Eileen made me buy all these clean color markers that I don't use that much. Yeah, I'm going to learn brush lettering and use it more in my journal because it will make me use my brush pens more, right? Oh, I'm not going to show the books, Dee Dee, but go have fun. Go do whatever it is you're going to do. Thanks for coming, Dee Dee. I'll catch you later. I just bought one of these. I mean, it's honestly here's block lettering, you guys. I have no clue where I got this. I've had it a long time. But the thing I like about it is it has the lines spaced for me. So if I'm going to practice lettering or whatever, I can just grab a sheet of this. Now you guys know why I have this crap all over. Look at this whole pile is just like, that'll get shoved in a book somewhere. But yeah, like these brush pens. I want to learn. Let's do a rainbow. There will be yellow, green, a darker green. We're going to go the rainbow. Blue, a fun purple. Oh, I hate to go dark, but we'll go dark. We don't care. Red. Oh, you want to see the Tinker Toy lettering? Okay. Let's see. And then orange. And then we've gone the whole rainbow. Okay. Another thing I was going to talk to you guys about was calligraphy pens. Like these calligraphy pens, these Zig calligraphy pens, they are so much fun to use. In fact, I'll do Tinker Toy lettering on it with one of these. Let me get some paper out. Paper. All right, let me just draw myself some. And you guys, this whole thing that I have to do with the straight lines, that's just me being anal, honestly. All right, give me a word. Okay, Walmart has those books. All right, I'm just going to write coffee here real quick, okay? And I'm going to use my lettering guide. Try and make nice big letters with space between them. And maybe I left too much there. Coffee's good because it has circle letters and straight letters, okay? C-O-F-F-E-E, coffee, okay? And I could have done that. I didn't have to write that with this, but okay. I'll just grab one of these pens. These are getting old, so I hope they still work good. I think these work good for watercolor too. These are water soluble. It says waterproof, but I know I've moved them with water. Okay, here's how I do Tinker Toy lettering. Just make the block alphabet. Take your pen, write the letter, and wherever the letter ends, okay, see here at the end, okay, just draw a big round circle. On your O, you can just pick a place and draw a great big circle. On the lines, or straight lines, anywhere you have an intersect, draw a circle, great big circle. And they look like Tinker Toys. But you have to leave this space, you know, when you're going to do this, the best thing to think about is your spacing. So you leave room for the dots. And these are really cute, like if you do a name plaque for a kid's door or something. I'll pick a different color pen. The light blue worked pretty good. I liked it. Alright, we'll see if the red still works. If the stinking red works. And maybe until you get used to the spacing, do a letter at a time. But everywhere they intersect or everywhere they end, oops, smeared it. Just do like that, one at a time. I'm just going to go ahead and write out the whole word. Okay, you've seen this? Yeah, this is called Tinker Toy, or I call it Tinker Toy. Maybe other people call it something else. Hell, I don't know. And it can go pretty fast. Another thing I like to do with this kind of lettering is just to make it funner. Funner is a word in my world. I don't think it's in the English dictionary, but yeah, funner is a word, which means more fun than you were having a minute ago. Oops, wrong place. Take a dark pen and go ahead and give your Tinker Toys. That's not going to show up. It might. Nope. Let's see, what can I use? This one will show up, I think. Yeah, it will. So rather than just leaving it the way you just did it, go ahead and draw a shadow around the edge, like if you were just drawing a sphere or a circle of any kind, really. You can give it some more dimension. Take your white pen and give it a highlight. So kind of what I'm just trying to say is, don't stop at just the, make it more funner. More funner. And it doesn't detract from the readability, but it looks cool, and everybody thinks you're awesome because you did that. So there you go, Trouble. I mean, and you could even do more than that. So, yeah, just think about your tools and using them, and yeah. So, and then the other thing I was going to do was I got out all the rainbow colors. Let's see, what word? And I want to keep them in rainbow colors. So I'm going to start with yellow, orange. Is that red? It looks like, no, that's dark orange. That's scarlet red, yep. Purple, blue, light green, dark green. Okay. The yellow is going to be hard to see, but just use your cursive, and I'm going to try and do mine nice. I'm not crazy about my own cursive, but if I take my time, it's okay. I want to get better at brush lettering and using these more, because I can Trouble. Yeah, I don't use these enough, but I want to do more brush lettering. I really do. And it probably would work better. Let me try it on different paper. I just use that paper because it's got the lines for me, and happy is one of my favorite words, so I like being happy. And I could, I have so many colors of the clean color. I could, make the transition here far more gradual, and it would look very cool. Oops, I want the yellow. Yes, Trouble, I will definitely send that to you. I do like these Zig Clean Color markers, but I will be the first to admit I don't use them enough. See you, Laura. Have a great afternoon. Okay, now, just because I'm curious, and these are watercolor markers, I should be able to, and I hope the purple doesn't come off. It better not, because it's going to make me darn mad if it does. I should be able to get this to move a little bit where I can actually mix the colors. We'll find out. And you can actually do this with any water-soluble pen, you guys. You don't have to have the Zig Clean colors. Or the Kuretake Clean colors. Eileen just made me buy them, so now I have them. And I like them. I have to say, I like them. They're mixing a little bit. And I think different paper would make them behave differently. So, yeah, but that's nice and happy. Yeah, and that's what I was just saying, Trouble. Depends on the paper, how much they're going to move. But they're moving on this. I don't want to ruin your trouble. I might have to do it over again, bigger and better. Yeah, these are moving just fine on this. And believe me, I am not a watercolor person, you guys. I have not the first clue what to do with watercolor. My flower's a little goofed up. Yeah, she made you buy them too? Yep. That's okay, Eileen. No matter what, I love you. You use your Zigs in color books as a base. I have not. I just think, oh my God, these things are made of gold. I paid $1 million. I can't put them in a coloring book. But yeah, I definitely want to do more of this brush lettering. I like that. I like happiness. Happy, happy, happiness. They are awesome product. I have to say, they really are. So, yep. All right, I've been on 2.5 hours. Right? Yeah, not quite yet. You can get a set of 60 Zig markers and a set of 36 Gansa. I've never heard of that, Teresa. What is that? No refills? Oh, you can get the 60 Zig markers and 36 Gansa. I don't know what that is, Teresa. You're going to have to tell me. I think Eileen sent Dee Dee. Well, good, Dorothy. Yay, you. But I don't know. I think one of the reasons I like lettering and I like all this stuff is because my real addiction is pens. That, yeah. That's my addiction. Dorothy, that comes with practice. Like if you're using your lettering guide, there will come a day where you will just write it. And your spacing will be fine. Your brain will pick up where you left off. So, and I don't know if you guys see how I keep these. They're in like a Bartles and James little 6-pack thing. And I lay them on the shelf like this, or like this, whatever. So I keep these laying on their side. But the cool thing is, when they're laying on their side like this, I can see all the colors. So, but then when I want to use them, I can set them up like this and then put them right back down when I want to put them away. So, these little things, they are the best storage for pens ever. So go get yourself some Bartles and James. I don't even know where I got this. I probably bought it for the kids when they came or something, because I'm pretty sure I didn't drink it. But I might have. There's some good ones of these out there, I have to say. There's those ice drinks. Who makes them? Smirnoff Ice. Holy crap, those things are good. Oh, and another one that's really good. We're off art now. We're on to alcohol. And you guys, I am not a drinker, I promise you. But sometimes I like having a drink over at the pool or something. The Mike's Lemonade. OMG. Yeah. But yeah, so this is a really good, in my opinion, storage ideas. Because then when I want to move it, I got my little handle and it goes with me. So yeah, there's your free tip of the day. How about that? What else can I think about? What else? What else? Trouble? I do not have your new address, so you need to be messaging me on Twitter or email. Use a beer carton if that's what you've got. It works. It works good. It really does. I didn't reinforce it. I mean, honestly, I just shove my pens in there and it's good. Get yourself a 30-pack beer carton and go for it, Eileen. Well, I will buy alcohol for other people, though. I really will. And it's not that I don't drink. It's just that I rarely drink. But when it's hot, yeah, I don't mind having a ice cold beer. I like it. I like it a lot. Let me think what else. Of course, the calligraphy pens. You guys are all familiar with calligraphy because of Dee Dee. So, but one thing I was going to say is it's not just the lettering, you guys. It's what you do with it, around it, that can make your lettering, make or break your lettering, okay? What do you store when you buy a whole case? That's when I store the carcasses, Eileen. I shove the carcasses in there. Yeah, you like Mike's Hard Lemonade too? I do too, Pat. I really like the Mike's Hard Lemonade. I wish I'd never found that stuff, boy. But let me just, like, if you buy these calligraphy pens, and I honestly, guys, I don't know how expensive these are. I have had them forever. But I like to use them for addressing envelopes. You can address an envelope and make it look so pretty, okay? So let me just say, let me just think up a word. Anybody's handwriting can look good with these. I promise you. You do not have to be a calligraphy expert. Okay? Imagine. Imagine. I'm going to go ahead and erase my lines. And you don't have to use lines, you guys. It's just I'm so dang anal when it comes to that. But in my line of work, it was important. So get rid of the line, and then you've got just a pretty word. I mean, that could just as easily be somebody's name. But one thing I like doing, let's see what pretty color we've got. I'll use the light purple. Why not? When I said that I like the halo, or the aura, whatever. Just something this small. And I wish I'd picked a darker color so you guys could see it, but I didn't. And I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't too early for dinner. I'd tell Robert, bring dinner home. I don't want to cook. I never want to cook, but I always cook. Can you guys see that? I wish I'd picked a different, darker color. You're left-handed with these? Yeah. Of course, I can't do anything left-handed. Nothing. I'm pretty sure I couldn't even pick my nose good left-handed. Pretty sure. All right, let me pick another color since you guys can't see that very well. In fact, I may go over. Yeah, in fact, I think I will. Just bear with me for a minute. I'm just showing you what you can do because it's not just the lettering, you guys. It's what you do with the lettering too. And even if your lettering's not perfect, what you do around the lettering can disguise your imperfect lettering. So keep that in mind. Because my lettering by far is not perfect. I promise you, it is not. Then I would get out maybe a different nib of blue. And just draw curlicues in there. I should show you guys a cute little curlicue flower. Or I should have goofed up the lettering to show you that after you get the designs around it, if I filled in the whole space with just that, you wouldn't even know that my lettering isn't perfect. It's easy, Janet. Left-handed picking. Okay. I'm going to have to do some practicing, you know. Picking and grinning. Yep. But I'm not going to spend your time doing this. But this is what I mean by what doing stuff around your lettering. Yeah, your lettering doesn't have to be perfect. And then your journal pages or whatever truly are more yours, in my opinion. And I would say as you're looking at magazines or flows or anything really, I'm not going to do that whole word, but you get the idea that it's not just about the lettering. I can't believe how dark it is. Of course, we're about ready to get rain, you guys, so yeah, it's just dark in here today, I guess. But I'm sorry it's so dark. And here, just because I can show you, I draw this flower incessantly, you guys. I mean, if I'm sitting doing a crossword puzzle while I'm thinking, I'm drawing this flower. Just a curlicue. And I don't have a ballpoint, so I'll just use this. I must draw that flower 1,000 times a week. But if you end up buying these pens, I mean, you can do anything with them. These are just like for decorating. These are the best pens. Bye, Kenny. Have a great day. And I think, another thing is the more colors you add, the more interesting something can be. Yeah, the ribbon flower. I didn't know that's what it's called, but yep. It's just all about the doodling, using your supplies, whatever. So just with something as simple as a line and a circle, just make something interesting, something fun to look at. Add color to your journal. I could spend a whole day doing crap like this, for real. All right, well, let me think what else about. And Eileen, you are never going to journal, are you? Ever, ever, ever. I love my journal. Is Jean still awake? Jean, you're on soon. Wake up, wake up. Another thing I like doing with these pens, and it's not the plaid that I showed you in the in my journal, but these pens, and now I sound like I'm selling pens. Make great plaid. I love drawing plaid. Love it, love it, love it. Let me find the light blue here. Because you can see through them, they'll go ahead and make a new color. See how the blue and the pink, when I draw over, have made my purple? But I do this a lot with colored pencil. Make plaid. But if this was a background, look how quick I've just made. Writing journal would drive you crazy. See, I love mine. See how quickly I've just made a plaid background? No skill. Zero skill, you guys. But you could do this in your journal and make it look so pretty. It looks like Easter plaid, doesn't it? Oh, you guys, I'm freaking out here because it's been so warm this year. I mean, this has been like the craziest, warmest year. We were freezing and then we were cold and now we're warm. My daffodils bloom today. Yeah. Look at how easy it was to make that whole plaid background in 1 minute. So you could do that for the background of a card, whatever, right on top of it. Write a quote out on another piece of paper and slap it. Can I join your textile group? Charlie girl, Charlie just said she doesn't journal either, but primarily because I don't want to go back later and be reminded of something I had to deal with then. You know what I'm going to say about that? Is I kept in a journal when my mother was in the hospital because, one, I don't trust my memory that good. And I wanted to know what the doctor said, when they gave her medicine, who said this, who did that. And my mother died during that hospital stay or shortly after it. And so for a while after that, that journal was a painful thing to me. But one thing I've learned in my long life is that no matter what you're going through, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel, and you come out of that tunnel. And you're better for having gone through it. Now I'm lecturing. But right after Mother died, and for probably 2 or 3 years after it, that journal was painful to me. So I put it away. I never looked at it. But, oh, hi, Kelly. But now I have that journal. And I ran across it the other day, and I was looking at it and reading it, and it was a bad time. But as I was reading that journal, it made me think of a couple conversations my mother and I had, or something that happened on a particular day, or an argument I had with a doctor, or something. It brought back memories that, one, I remember the day I had the discussion with the doctor about my mother's wishes, and we argued a little bit. It made me proud of myself that I stood my ground for my mother to the authority. I would not back down. So, yeah, journals are a funny thing. At the time they can be a painful occurrence, but I think getting it out of me helped. I had something there where I didn't have to trust my memory, but now here we are, Mom died in 2001, so this is 16 years later. When I look back at it, I do think of I had written down funny things my mother had said while she was on the morphine. I would have to say those painful journals now bring me joy because I went through that with my mother. I was there for her. So, there are different ways to look at it. But for a couple of years, I have to say, I couldn't look at those journals. I didn't want to read it. I didn't want to have to be reminded of that. Now my mom's gone. I'm healed. I'm good. And I'm tickled to death that I have them. So there are different ways to look at journals. I'm a memory person. I like memories. I like thinking back at things. So having the book to remind me is like a treasure to me. And like I said about having my mother's writing and my grandmother's writing, I treasure that stuff. I'd rather have that than a chest that they stored their stuff in. So yeah, and that's why I think journaling is important, you guys. Now they're having a discussion and chat about journaling. Yeah, you cannot trust your memory. Your memory is not that good. And see, that's one thing I try and do in the Beast, you guys, is, I don't know when I showed you this. Like you'll see these bubbles a lot. Those are kind of my gratitude things. This one actually is a sad one. My youngest son would have been 48. That's a sad thing. Because he passed away. I won the Scrappy Camper giveaway on that day, though. So that was a happy thing. So I try here. I picked my first tomato that day. That always makes me happy. So those bubbles are generally things that depict my day overall. I try and pick a good thing and jot it down. An Amazon order came. I got Happy Mail. Because some of my, and this is where I learned to do it, in some of my darkest days, and I've had some pretty dark ones, I learned gratitude, and you can learn gratitude too. And a journal helps you learn gratitude. And I think we all need to be more grateful for how truly, truly lucky we are for whatever. And that's up to you. Some days I felt lucky that the sun was shining, but I would write that down, that it's a clear sunny day, and that may be all I was thankful for that day, but I was thankful for that. So, but I think that whole grateful kind of feeling, when you start feeling that a little bit, it grows. Like you're being mindful of it, and when you become grateful for something as small as the sun shining, you no longer take for granted the really truly little things in life. And I try not to. I try and be a grateful person. So, and I sound like a sap, I know, but if there's one thing I want in life, is to be happy. And I want the people around me to be happy. So if I'm mindful about that, some little thing that I might complain about or bitch about, I don't. Because what is my bitching going to do? It's going to ruin my day and probably somebody else's too. I don't want to do that. So, hi, Vicki. You coming here right at the tail end. Gina's coming on in about 20 minutes. And all I have really nothing to show for this entire show other than a little bit of lettering. I kind of tried to get people's brains wrapped around doing something different in your journals. Being mindful and trying something different. And a few little tutorials about how to make three-dimensional lettering, or, yeah. Where's that old age thing? I guess that is, I don't know where the old age thing. I'll send you the old age thing too, Terry, since I'm going to have to, if I find it. Here it is. I'll finish this and send you this too. Put it up in your room and remind yourself every day, old age is not for sissies. You got to be a badass to deal with the bad age, or the old age. Isn't that the truth, Carol? Carol says we forget to be grateful for things like not having to use a washboard in the creek. Tell me. Or that, you turn on a handle and you get instant hot water. Are you kidding? How is that not the most coolest thing in the world? Oh, now that, I'm sorry, happened to you, Anna Maria. No, I don't sit down and pour out my feelings on paper, and if I ever did, I probably would turn around and burn that. I'm talking more about just someplace where you can jot down things that make you happy, things that bum you out. I mean, there are some bummer things in here. Look at the bunny and the fishy. Remember when I did those shows? I sat down and drew those later. And my new book washi. Now see, looking through here, I can get happy all over again. Just looking through this stupid thing. Look I drew myself 60 balloons on my birthday. You can use the bathroom that flushes, tell me. Denver won the football game. An Amazon order came. Amazon order, oh my God, Amazon order came every day this week. Shut up, don't look. I ate dinner at my brother's. I went and hung out with my brother that day. I drew some plaid. So, yeah, more just stuff like that. Here's the new phone learning curve. Look at this. Now, see, that makes me laugh now. New phone learning curve. Puke. Denver lost. So that's more what I'm talking. I would have to say, and I have several of these, you guys. Not this format. This is the first one I've done in this format. And Eileen will say, "Oh, you're crazy," but see, I draw my own calendars too. And there's something real satisfying to me. I know I can buy a pre-printed calendar. I know that. But I like drawing the straight lines, putting the numbers in, picking out a color for the headers. I like all that. So shoot me. Oh, Anna Marie, I'm so sorry. Hey, Ange. I'll write you a message, Ange. But anyway, yeah. But I get to use my stamps in here. Here's where I voted. I voted. My dad was moved to the hospital that day. This is part of a napkin that somebody sent me that I thought was just gorgeous. I want to see that. I want to keep it. Yeah, see, Eileen's saying she really is crazy. But you know what? I may be the battiest woman on earth, but there's something about this entire book, just flipping through it, touching it, that brings me joy. So, yeah. Oh, the journal itself, Vicki, is a McGill Ruiz. I would say go look at it at Barnes and Noble, and it's MIQU. I gotta put my glasses on. MIQUELRIUS, and it's graph paper, which I like. But really, you don't even have to do it. This journal at Barnes and Noble, and the last time I bought one, is about $10 is all. But honestly, if you don't want to spend the $10, do it in anything. Just make your own journal. So, yeah. But just something so simple. And yeah, I don't write down here when I'm mad at somebody that I want to go shoot them. Because, yeah, that could be bad news. But here's where I was just playing with plaid. You can see how I love plaid. This is Zentangle. This day I took a total day off. That probably means poor Robert didn't eat. Survivor was on. Well, good, Pat. Choose happy. Put that in your journal. Choose happy. And see the lettering? I letter in here a lot. That's my own hand-drawn lettering. That's when Robert killed the snake. I had to draw the snake. Now, here's a good question for you guys. What would you do if you could not fail? That will get you thinking. Here, beautiful autumn day. I don't remember the day, but I'm glad that November 4th was a beautiful autumn day. And it was only 10 days till my birthday. Finished S. That's that book, what Xander turned us all onto. That was a weird-ass book. So, yeah, I've used stencils in here. That's with Tim Holtz. You know what? Mildred, you can also be good at drawing. Even if it's just that happy face, you can draw that happy face. I promise you. Here's happy, happy, happy. See, so I do lettering a lot of different places. This is when we went to Branson. Fun, fun, fun. Every day is a gift. So yeah. Got a sock monkey stamp from Dee Dee. That made me happy that day. This is Christmas. Getting ready for Christmas. I have to say the Christmas pages are fun. Because there's so much Christmas fodder out there. Be awesome today. So yeah. I would say this will fill your heart with happiness. I'm going to recommend that you do it. You want me to say something funny to make you laugh? Well, I have some sarcasm in here. It takes a dream to get started, desire to keep going, and determination to finish. Wish it, dream it, do it. I wish I had something funny. This, you know what? I should draw this for you guys. Isn't this a cool thing? This is the easiest thing in the world to draw and color. Is that not cool? You guys want me to do that for you? Being grateful for the leftovers. Oh, I am grateful for leftovers lots of times, Pat. Are you kidding me? So I don't have to figure out what to do with my stomach today. Ugh. Jet Pen's order came. I'm trying to find something funny, Anna Maria. I'm sorry I got you sad. All right. Jean's going to visit potty people and then get her coffee. So anyway, you YouTube people are going, okay, you're not going to show us anything else. So Blick order arrived. I'm obviously very happy. Okay, here's a good one for you. Anna Maria, here you go. I have never faked a sarcasm. I knew I'd find something funny. You want me to draw that? Okay, let me, you like those curved ones? All right, let me write myself a note. You guys have no clue how bad my memory is. I'll say, you know what? I said I was going to do something, but I don't remember what I said it was. All right, we will do the... Another thing I do is I number the pages so I can go back and find it. So... I'll just call it curved ribbons because that's what Eileen called it. I didn't know if it had a name or not. I did not originate it, though. What did you get? Okay, I finally made Anna. She said that's good, so now I can feel good that she's not going to be sad no more because I don't want you to be sad no more. Okay, here's another one for you, Anna Maria. I like this one too. Have you ever listened to someone for a while and wondered, who ties your shoes for you? I like that one, and I meet a lot of those people. Those are probably spread out throughout here everywhere. Okay, Suzanne, you said, what did you get? I don't know what you're talking about. I got Jen's postcard that day. Zombies eat brains. You're safe. See, there's a page that I had prepped for something. I use my Neo 2s to do the backgrounds for these. I do blame everything on you, Eileen, because hashtag it's all Eileen's fault. Hello, hashtag. If it has a hashtag in front of it, it's for sure real. You can't just put a hashtag in front of everything, you know. Well, I can. Alright, I'm done finding funny stuff now. I guess I only got in a funny mood for a couple days. I know there's some funny crap in here. There's that kitty. And I don't remember who said that I can draw. I could break that down into pieces so you could draw that. That's not hard. Little coloring pages. Look at CB. Do you remember this day? Cool washi. Alright, that's all the funny stuff, and Jean's going to be on in a minute, so I'm surprised how often I have Amazon order came in here. No wonder my UPS guy loves me. And my first live stream, you guys, was the 5th of October. Don't say jet pens. I know, Ange. I've been sniffing my pens. Well, actually, I have. Come on. All right, let's see. Oh, never mind. It's just my sister-in-law telling me something I needed to know. So, anyway. Oh, yeah. There is Spirograph in there. Pat, I'll get it out for next time. Oh, I don't want you to see that. That's a important address. Yeah, I have fun little, I have a lot of spirographs. I'm a spirograph person. And I like spirographs because it, lets me use my cool pens. Okay, you want, breakdown drawings? Okay. I think I'll remember that. Most of you, quite frankly, have convinced yourself that you can't draw. If you can write your name, you can draw. Exactly, Eileen. Do you know why I have to start out every day with litter? I promise you. I do it so freaking often that if I don't do it early in the day, I'll forget. And I don't want to forget the litter because that is a nasty thing. So that's why every day, my day starts out with go do the litter. But I can't do it until after I've had some coffee and fed her. And I like to plan dinner early, so dinner is always early on the list. And the way I start my day is clean the kitchen every day. Even though I've cleaned it before I go to bed, I still have to get up and clean the kitchen. I have some problems, no doubt about it. It's creating your own planner from scratch. Yes, it is. So it gets me moving. Those 4 things get me moving every day. But then if I don't check off that I did the litter, I don't remember if that was today or yesterday. Because I do it so often. Can I get by with I'm buying it for my granddaughter for when she's older? Absolutely, Scooby. I would even show your granddaughter. So I bought my granddaughters some Jonas Midori's so they would start journaling and keeping stuff on their own. I could show you old, like, smash journals from when I was in high school. This is not something new that I've just started doing. I've done this my whole life. Not like exactly like this, but I've done this my whole life, and I did it my whole career. Anyway, um, Jean's going to be on in like 2 minutes, so you guys need to hurry to the potty, people. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for hanging in. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Um, get yourself a cool journal, okay? All right. What'd you say? Oh my God, Janet. What, Eileen? Tell me now. That I've tried to convert my granddaughters at young ages to be as big a freak as I am? Is that unusual? Oh, your granddaughter is 1 month old? Well, of course, you got to start them early, Scooby. What's the link for her? What link are you looking for, Charlie girl? You're welcome, you guys. Thanks for coming. I hope you had fun and learned something or got encouraged or convinced yourself that I'm the biggest nutcase on the planet. Yeah, whatever works. I'm good with all of it. Thanks, Pat, Scooby. Caroline, I never even said you. Carolyn, never even said hi, but thank you for coming. Thanks, Dorothy. Post your work, Dorothy, so I can see what you did. Oh, her name is Music Scrap. Does somebody have Jean's link? Go ahead and put it in for some of the newer people. Pat liked this. Great, Pat. That makes me happy. Your stinky litter. It never gets stinky, Eileen, because I do it every day. I can't stand a litter box, but it's better than, yeah, we won't go there. But anyway, thanks, Carol. I still think your thing is genius. You will always be my #1 genius. You're welcome, guys. Yeah, I'm glad, Terry. I'll get that set out in an envelope to you. Thanks, Pat. I'll see you guys over at Jean's. It might take me a few minutes to clean this mess up, but I'll head over that way here soon. So thanks again, you guys.